Beyond the Badge is brought to you by Edina Alarm and the Edina Crime Prevention Fund.
Welcome to Beyond the Badge, a program about the inner workings of the Edina Police Department. Thanks for joining us. I'm Officer Brian Hubbard. In the past decade, 17 Minnesota police officers have been killed in the line of duty. The most recent being Maplewood Police Sergeant Joseph Bergeron, who was gunned down by carjackers in May. The Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial Association, or LEMA, is dedicated to properly honoring fallen officers and making sure our country's flag is always flown with pride. Edina police officers Victor Cantors and Jim Rigg are members of the LEMA Honor Guard, which is most visible at the time of a line-of-duty death of a Minnesota police officer. The Honor Guard assists grieving families and agencies by providing planning and organization for the funeral service. LEMA also provides assistance to the survivors in grief counseling and a financial aid program to meet the immediate needs of surviving families. In May, Cantors, Rigg, and other LEMA members commemorated Law Enforcement Memorial Week. The Honor Guard held a number of services leading up to National Law Enforcement Memorial Day on May 15th. On that day, the Honor Guard held the standing of the Memorial Guard at the State Police Officers Monument and oversaw a candlelight vigil and celebration service, celebrating the lives and surviving families of our fallen heroes.
When I do a law enforcement funeral, it's the highest tribute that I can give to a fallen officer. Doesn't matter if they're state, county, or municipal. It's the privilege of being here and showing my honors to them for what they have done, given the ultimate sacrifice.
Rigg is part of LEMA's rifle team, providing ceremonial guard duty and firing 3 volleys at police funerals. Cantors is the Honor Guard's administrative lieutenant and is one of the original 16 members serving since 1991. July 4th is another day to remember and honor those who fought and died for our country. And this year, you'll see Edina's single motorcycle patrolman leading Edina's Independence Day Parade. Let's go now to Officer Aaron White, who is out in the field with Officer Jeff Bolks to learn more about the role of Edina's motorcycle cop.
Thanks, Brian. I'm out at Utley Park, and I'm joined by Jeff Bolks, police officer with the Edina Police Department. He's been here for 22 years and currently is in the traffic division and serving as a motorcycle officer. Jeff, thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Motorcycle's a little unique, seasonal here in Minnesota. What are some of the advantages of using a motorcycle for law enforcement patrol work?
Well, a motorcycle, the motor unit is very versatile. I use it mainly for traffic because that's my job. I'm not on a regular shift, I do traffic patrol. But also, it's great for other uses. We have a lot of parks in Edina. I'm able to get in and out. We've had exposing incidents, lost children, numerous things that squads just could not, or even the fire department didn't have any off-road vehicles that could get in there. I got in there, a couple occasions found the child or the suspect in whatever we're looking for. As far as traffic goes, I can get into traffic, in and out of traffic, make harder turns. If we need to get a vehicle that's in 3 lanes of traffic, obviously a squad can't get to it.
Sure.
I can, what they call lane splitting. I can go in between the vehicles, go up to the vehicle I want, knock on the window or whatever the situation is, and make contact.
So
with that
maneuverability,
vehicle.
probably the biggest asset.
Huge. Maneuverability is what people don't realize is the size of these bikes. They're large, heavy bikes, but they're one of the most maneuverable motorcycle out there once you learn how to use them.
And speaking of learning how to use them, you've been a motorcycle rider your whole life, your personal life.
Correct.
When you began with this program, you did specific law enforcement training. Tell me a little bit about that, learning to ride a bike as a cop.
Very difficult. Back in ~04, I went through the national class for motorcycle training officers, and it was very hard to pass. It was very mentally and physically demanding. Very dangerous, high speeds on the highways, in and out. So basically the instructors are trying to get you to be able to survive out there
Sure.
on this vehicle.
You're doing it as a job now rather than as a hobby, and spending
Correct.
a lot of hours out there, so you learn
Yes.
a lot there, it sounds like.
Yep.
What about the equipment itself? Tell people what kind of motorcycle this is you ride, and how is it different from a stock bike?
We have a 1-year lease, so every year I have a new motorcycle. This one is a 2010 Harley Davidson Electroglide, police version obviously. I could pick between this and a couple other models, but I've always got the big Electroglide because you have gauges and whatnot and everything. It's one of the nicer model. It's 103 cubic inches, which is a large engine.
Clearly engineered for the role of
Engineered
law
to be
enforcement.
it's very similar to a police squad, just has, you know, some better stuff.
In addition to the lighting package, you have a computer system on board now. You're able
Correct.
to access all the stuff you could in a squad car.
I got a computer back here, the same one we have in the squads, a printer, a scanner, pretty much the same setup as the squads, only it's compacted in here.
High tech as well.
Recently, yes.
Okay. Well, let's change the subject just a little bit and talk about motorcycle safety for everyone else out there. Any tips from your experience riding out there? Some of the basics that people should keep in mind?
Obviously, wear a helmet, don't drink and ride. Try not to ride at night if you don't have to. There's a lot of things that come out of the trees and whatnot that with a car, it's not a big deal. You hit it, you can hit a rabbit with this and go down at 70 miles an hour and
Sure.
you're done.
Finally, Jeff, traffic unit's going to be out there, high visibility this summer. If you're driving around Edina, they're probably going to see you guys. What are some of the priorities for you guys this summer?
This summer, I think we'll be doing, as usual, a lot of speed enforcement. We're working the crosswalks a lot lately. We're getting a lot of complaints about those, so we're working the crosswalks heavily. Vehicles must yield to a person in the crosswalk if they're in it.
Okay.
And then I think especially seat belts this summer will be hit pretty hard.
Okay. Well, Jeff, thank you very much for telling us about the motorcycle and the motor officer program here in Edina. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
So Jeff Bolks, motor officer for the Edina Police Department, and we'll return to Brian in the studio.
The city leases the police motorcycle for $1 per year through a program offered by Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson has been providing law enforcement departments throughout the country with motorcycle patrol vehicles for more than 9 decades. Jeff Long's promotion to Edina Police Chief created a domino effect of promotions within the department. Earlier this year, we told you about Dave Nelson's promotion to Deputy Police Chief. Now, Officer Jeff Alasky has been named to Nelson's former position of Patrol Lieutenant. Alasky started with the department as a police reserve officer in 1986 and was hired as a community service officer in 1989. He was selected as a police officer in 1994 after a short stint as animal control officer. Since that time, he has worked as a patrol officer, school resource officer, and sergeant, and is one of the department's most decorated officers, having received the Medal of Valor. Alasky served as sergeant for the last 8 years, and his assignments have included both patrol and investigation.
I think as you're sitting in the academy, everybody, the expectations are when you're looking at it is you want to be out there in the squad car, arresting bad guys, making traffic stops, I guess meeting and greeting the public. I mean, that's where you have the most contact with the public, and I think that's a great position to be in.
Under Alasky's supervision, Morgan Piper began work in April as Edina's newest police officer. A native of Rochester, Piper holds a degree in English from the University of Minnesota and a law enforcement certificate from the Center for Criminal Justice and Law Enforcement in St. Paul. Prior to joining the city, she was a community service officer in Maple Grove. The first Tuesday of August each year is Edina's Night to Unite, an annual night out meant to encourage neighborhoods to form community partnerships. Let's go now to Officer White, who is with Crime Prevention Specialist Amy Granis, to tell us about Night to Unite.
Thanks, Brian. We're out on Parkwood Road in West Edina to talk about an event coming up later this summer called Night to Unite. And I'm joined by Edina Police Crime Prevention Specialist Amy Granis. Amy, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
The event is Night to Unite, and it is coming up when? What's the date?
August 3rd.
Okay, and a lot of people may be familiar with the kind of old name, which was the National Night Out. This is the same thing, correct?
Night to Unite is modeled after National Night Out, but it focuses on the local celebration and just Minnesota based.
Okay, and what is it? This is basically neighborhood block parties, correct?
Correct, yes. Last year we had over 52 block parties registered. It's a great event. It encourages neighbors to get out of their homes, lock their doors, of course, when they get out, turn on their lights, and spend a night outside with their neighbors.
So the whole idea here is connecting neighborhoods, neighbors, the community, get people to kind of meet each other, but at the same time get that crime prevention message out there, correct?
Absolutely. Your neighbors are your best ears and eyes, and getting to know them is a great crime prevention tool.
And we've been doing this here in Edina for quite a while. In past years, this has been growing. You've had more parties each year, right?
Correct.
If a person wants to start anew, add a new block party out there, what do they need to do? What's a person got to go through to get one going?
Super easy. All they have to do is go to our website at cityofedina.com, and there'll be a link right on the main page, and they just click on that and they register their block party, and then I would get the email, and then I'll get their party registered. I will send them a packet with all the information that they need and how to set up their party, how to organize, and if they want to, they can request an officer to stop by and visit their party.
Okay, and we keep using the word neighborhood. Neighborhood can also mean apartment complexes, townhomes, multi-housing, that sort of thing. I understand you're encouraging people in all types of housing situations to consider doing this.
Absolutely. We went to a bunch of multi-dwellings last year, and it was a great thing. They had little barbecues for the kids. They have swimming pools at a lot of those places too, so they have the outside pool parties and whatnot, and it works really great.
What kind of resources will you provide? You said police officers may be requested. Also, the fire department, will they make visits this year as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to request them separate because they schedule theirs a little bit differently than us because they have the big trucks that they have to try to coordinate into these little neighborhoods.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to recap, it's Night to Unite, and that's going to be Tuesday, August 3rd.
Correct.
What are the hours typically?
This year we're going to go from 6 to 8:30 as far as the officers being able to visit the parties.
Okay.
Last year we did 5 to 9, and it had a tendency at 5 o'clock that a lot of people weren't home from work yet.
Great.
So we'd like to start a little bit later, so this year will be from 6 to 8:30.
Sounds good. Well, Amy, thank you. Amy Granis, Crime Prevention Specialist with the Edina Police Department, and contact her if you'd like to organize your own Night to Unite block party this year. And we'll return to Brian.
This year's Night to Unite will be held August 3rd. For more information, visit our website at www.cityofedina.com/police. Online registration began June 1st.
Property crimes, nonviolent crimes, those are...
After participating in Night to Unite, some neighborhoods have organized a Neighbors Home Watch, a program placing emphasis on the prevention of property crimes, especially residential burglary. Groups representing at least 10 households can form a Neighbors Home Watch and must meet annually with the city's crime prevention specialist. At a group's first meeting, residents are taught how to secure their homes, when to call 911, the types of crimes occurring in their area, how to monitor crime stats online, and how to enhance communication within their neighborhoods and with the police. There are currently 9 neighborhoods participating in Neighbors Home Watch. For more information, visit our website at www.cityofedina.com/police. In each episode of Beyond the Badge, we take an in-depth look at different ways viewers can protect themselves from crime. The first step in preventing home burglaries is to properly secure your home. Lock all doors and windows. Make sure exterior doors are made of a solid wood or steel. Install deadbolt locks on all doors. Deadbolt locks should be of good quality and have a 1-inch throw. Add security strike plates on all door frames, heavy-duty plates approximately 6 inches long that use 4 to 6 3-inch screws. Install pins in double-hung windows. Remove the cranks on casement windows. When you leave your home, put a lamp and radio on a timer. Leave on exterior lights at night and install motion lights in all vulnerable areas. Even during the day, think carefully about how long you leave your garage door open. In some neighborhoods, daytime burglaries have taken place while homeowners are home. A homeowner might be in the backyard or in the house working when a perpetrator happens by and takes advantage of the open garage door, stealing bicycles or other valuables close at hand. Stay safe this summer. On behalf of my co-host, Officer Aaron White, and the rest of the officers of the Edina Police Department, thanks for tuning in to learn a little bit more of what goes on beyond the badge.
Beyond the Badge is brought to you by Edina Alarm and the Edina Crime Prevention Fund.